When Conte arrived at Napoli last summer, most expected his tried and true 3-5-2, but within weeks he rolled out something else, a bold 4-3-3, and the reason was simple: personnel. With fewer natural centre-backs and the €30 million arrival of Scott McTominay, Conte led into a flatter back four, building a system that thrived on controlled aggression. Murray's improved distribution allowed Napoli to play out from the back. Ramrami and Juan Jesus provided composure, with Spinazzola and Di Lorenzo adding thrust from fullback. In midfield, Lobotka sat deep, orchestrating the tempo, with Angucia pushing play forward and McTominay given licence to break the lines and arrive late in the box. A true box-to-box player role. Up front, Lukaku served as a vocal point, holding up, linking play and scoring goals while it mattered. On the flanks, Politano and Kvaratskhelia gave Napoli vertical threats and innovation, especially before his move to PSG. What really defined Conte's Napoli was the press. It wasn't passive. The 2-8s pressed in tandem, Lobotka dropped to form a 2-1 rest defence, while Angucia and McTominay hunted passing lanes. They suffocated short build-ups, forced high turnovers, and won more than half of the pressures in the final third. In moments of transition, they snapped into a compact 4-5-1, funneling opponents wide and defending crosses with numbers. It isn't just intensity, it's a pure orchestration. And then there was McTominay, transformed from a rotational Premier League player into Napoli's most influential midfielder. Whether it was a scissor kick equaliser against Inter or the bicycle volley winner on the final day versus Cagliari, he was everywhere. 12 goals, 6 assists, constant movement. Conte used him like a Swiss Army knife in midfield. The season did have its defining moments. The 2-1 statement win over Juventus, the resilient draw away at Inter, the cagey 2-0 win over Roma that widened the title gap. Then came the scare in May. Inter briefly overtook Napoli after a tense 0-0 against Como, but a draw from Inter the next day handed the lead back to Conte's men. It all come down to the final home match. In front of a roaring crowd, McTominay's bicycle kick lit up the Maradona and Lukaku sealed it minutes later. A 2-0 win, Napoli were champions. From mid-table side to Serie A winners in just 12 months, Conte didn't just impose a system, he also built around his squad. Napoli ended with the best press in the league and the second best offensive record. Lukaku hit 14 goals, McTominay claimed MVP, and yet as always with Conte, the future hangs in the balance. Reports hint at friction with De Laurentiis over transfers, Juve are circling. For now, Napoli celebrates, but with Conte, you just don't know what comes next. Let's get into the actual tactic in the game. So then, now we have learned about Napoli's season, how they play, what goes on, let's look at some of the results in the game. Now, I would like to say, if you have enjoyed this sort of more analytical start to a video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you are wondering what is going on, why is it different, we essentially now are going to have two different types of tactics. One that is going to be more meta-based, which a lot of my result viewers want, and a pure realistic version, where maybe you're not going to get as impressive results because it's not as meta-based, but this is 100% realism. So for those that really want the realism factor, you're now going to have it on this channel as well. Now let's go over and actually see what we've done in the game. Now, because it is all about Napoli and we are going to spend more time actually looking at individual player stats, looking what happened, we are going to just test with the team that is the topic, which is Napoli. And we come out and we do win the title as they did in real life, and it was also very, very close. Now don't worry, you're also going to have free variants like you would in any other tactic video, but please leave a comment of what you think of this, because I love the vibe of it, I really, really do. But going over to the rest of the stuff that we did achieve. So, in terms of the Italian Cup, unfortunately, we couldn't get the job done. We do lose 3-1 in that cup final over Juventus, but we are going to get past teams such as AC Milan, which is a big, big statement because they're a tough team to come against, and it's just a shame on that final day we couldn't get the job done. The Champions League wasn't too impressive. Inter Milan on the day were a little bit too strong. We are going to lose 4-3 over 2 legs, but again, if we actually go to the round of 16, we are going to beat Arsenal. So it's not as if we can't beat these top, European sides, but just on the real pressure situations, especially in this one more so than this one, we just couldn't quite get the job done. In terms of the league performance though, incredibly strong. Lukaku is going to be your top goal scorer. Our goalkeeper has the most clean sheets. Neres, one of our better attacking players, comes in and has a great season. He plays 35 games for the club, 8 goals and 13 assists, so mean, a very, very strong season from him. You can't really knock that at all. And to be honest, David De Gea's in there. You like to see that as well. But a very, very strong season based off the actual stats. We can't really complain too much. If we go and actually look at the schedule, it's a bit mixed, but I mean, we started off the season very, very hot before a bit of a disappointing loss here against Juve, where we did actually go 1-0 up inside of a minute, so a little bit annoying, but I mean, we bounced back quite well when you look at the grand scheme of things. That's a bit of an annoying one against Napoli, a 1-0 loss. But overall, it is actually quite a good set of results, a really good run here. That is almost a whole 2 months of not losing a single game. A very, very strong performance, and we did put some goals past a lot of teams, to be honest. What did we actually do in terms of the data hub? Over 2 goals a game, so really happy with that. To get these results, by the way, we are using a mixture of 3 variants. Because there is now only 1 team that's being tested, I actually did play a lot of these games as well. So it is also a hand-played set of results. Not every game, but I would say pretty much every team that was in the top 4, I hand-played the game because I wanted to have the big impact, obviously. And I guess over the season, we are going to come in as 3rd top goal scorers, but defensively, as they are in real life, we are absolutely incredible when it comes to the back line. We love to see that. The most shots as well. And the goals, we're not that far behind, but we do have the clear better defensive record. So we're going to take it any single day. I'm going to pick out a couple of fun results. We're going to watch some highlights, and then it's tactic time. I think we're going to watch this semi-final against Milan, because although we didn't win the cup final, it's still a big game against AC Milan, one of the best teams in the Serie A. We're going to come through and make it 1-0 in 43 minutes. Now, this is always a crucial time to get a goal, because luckily for us, it is just, I believe, actually literally 13 seconds into that second half. We go through and make it 2-0. It's a little bit scrappy. That was one incredible lunge like that. Who is that? Walker with the lunge, misses the ball, and it is absolutely fantastic. We're now going to build it up with Philip through midfield, plenty of space again, into Oliveira, maybe a little cut back. No, that's direct. We like to see that into the bottom right-hand corner, a 3-0 lead, and of course, we go on to win this game 4-0. And Lukaku, in this role that he's playing in, does so well. He drops deep, links up, gets in behind again. It's a wonderful goal. And of course, against probably the best team in the Serie A on the game, that is, we are going to play Inter Milan, and we are at home, so we've got a bit of an advantage right now, but I'm not going to complain. We've just come off of an absolute thumping in the Champions League. We'll give them one in the league as well. It's a great bit of play to start things off, and once again, our goals come quite close to the end of a half, which is always a good time to get your goals, as I keep saying, but okay. If you've not signed Politano, maybe you go and get Politano. This is the Politano show. Now over to make the tactic. Now I will say we are going to look at player stats, so do stick around for that as well if you do like that. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, but to make this tactic you want to simply load in a create your own style and go with a 4-3-3 DM wide. Now the first thing we're going to do in true Conte fashion is actually play with sort of a block 3, a straight 3 in midfield, and we're going to sort of understand how that works when we go through the player roles. The second change is to go to positive, because it was actually quite an attacking system. Despite having that sort of very well structured defense, a good defensive record, he did attack, he did press, so we are going to make sure we also have that fundamental in the team as well. The goalkeeper, I am going to go with a sweeper keeper, simply on support. I will say for my meta viewers as well, don't worry, there is a Conte tactic more designed to break the game on the channel as well. So if you're not seeing your favourite player role, sorry, it is because we have gone full realism in this tactic. So this caters for both audiences, which I do want to try and do. We are then going to go with 2 ball-playing defenders. Both of them are going to be on the default, keeping it pretty basic because we don't really need anything special from them. When it comes to the wide areas with the fullbacks, we are going to use support, and we are going to tell them to simply cross from the byline alongside of running wide, getting forwards, and also tackling harder. So with this, you are going to get a lot of width being provided, which is quite helpful because our wide players up the pitch are going to be cutting in. So it's a really good idea to have your fullbacks pushing up and creating that overlapping opportunity. On the left-hand side, we are going to go with exactly the same. Both of their wing-backs play quite a big part in the team, so I want the equal opportunities for the left back and the right back to push up and really contribute to this team. Going over to probably what is the most important role in the team, the McTominay role. The box-to-box is one of the only roles you should ever be using to replicate McTominay in this game, because he doesn't always start up here, he doesn't always start here, he actually sits quite centrally, but always gets into the box and forward positions on the counter. So box-to-box is perfect. He is going to be told to do this: take risks, shoot more, and also get forward. This guy has been everything for Napoli. He clearly just, he was a bit underappreciated at Manchester United. He had such a good run in this Napoli team, and it's no coincidence. There's a lot of players that leave United, and they do improve. That's a simple fact. Next to him, we are going to go with a DLP. Again, he is simply going to come in on support with one instruction. That is going to be tackle harder. Yes, the Napoli midfield were aggressive. They were putting challenges in. It's not just a meta instruction. And to partner him, to add a little bit more defensive side to this midfield, we are going to play a CM on defend, and it was actually Lobotka who played in this role and done really, really well. So we can look at his stats in a second. I do want to quickly say at this part of the video, if you are interested in getting all three of these tactics and my 210 tactics from the year, over 70 rebuild files, one-on-one tactical help, ad-free viewing, big monthly giveaways, and so much more, you can come and check out the Patreon, where we have currently got 5,300 people, the biggest Patreon community on the platform. So make sure you come on over and get involved, because if you like tactics, you like rebuilds, you like FM Wonder Kids, it is the best place to be. Make sure you come on over. Going over to the front three though, we are going to use two wingers, both of them on attack. Now, the reason why this works so well is because both of them are going to be on cut inside. They are also going to be marking quite tightly. So mark position on the right, of course, that will be marking the left back. And on the left-hand side, he will be marking the right back with the same instruction of cut inside, which is really, really good, because when they do have the ball, they will, well, cut inside, and the fullback can obviously push on and attack and get in a good area. And the one role to describe Lukaku, for me anyway, what I'd describe him as, is going to be a complete forward on attack. Now, the only thing you could probably say is, Josh, maybe support. I personally think attack. He looked quite high up, to be honest with you. So for me, I am going to have him on attack. And for me, that is a very accurate Conte representation. But of course, the team instructions are to follow. We are going to go down by 1, 2 fairly narrow. We're going to pass into the space, focus down the left and the right hand side. We're going to run at defence, because a lot of their goals were actually quite direct counter-attacks, whether that was McTominay leading the line or Lukaku getting in behind. They scored a lot of goals this way. The tempo slightly higher, the passing remains in the middle to slightly shorter. When it comes to in transition, we're going to counter press, because they were quite a pressing team, and also counter, play to the entire back line, and also roll the ball out. Nice and simple. Out of possession, we are going to go in with the high press, with the higher defensive line, more often prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and also invite crosses on the cross engagement, because we're quite good at dealing with them anyway. Now, that is going to give you the default version. We have got a slightly more attacking version that we are going to quickly go over with the defensive one as well. You are going to need all three today, so make sure you do stick around, because I've also got the player stats to go through. So the goalkeeper does remain the same, the ball players do remain the same, the fullbacks identical, the CM goes to attack on dribble more, roam, move into the channels and tackle harder. The DLP remains the same. The box to box is actually going to be, well, identical, so nothing too special. The wingers exactly the same, but this time we've got Lukaku in a bit more of an advanced role, literally an advanced forward. We have also gone up to attacking when it comes to the actual mentality of the team. In possession, we're going to go down to fairly narrow, pass into the space, focus down the left and the right. The tempo remains the same, the passing remains the same. We've doubled up now on run at defence and be more expressive. In transition, simply what we have done is just added distribute quickly. Everything else does remain the same. And because we've got room to sort of play with it, it's optional. You could go with the much higher line, but I wouldn't really describe that in a Conte system. So I've opted for step up more, and everything else is going to remain pretty much identical. The defensive version does change a little bit, because this is purely was switched to for the last 10-15 minutes of a game to grit out a result, grind out a result. So you're not going to score bags of goals with this tactic, this version, but you will be very defensively sound. The goalkeeper, the ball players remain the same. The fullbacks are both on support, both on one instruction, that is tackle harder. The CM on defend, on tackle harder. The DLP on defend, on tackle harder. The box to box, nice and simple. literally on the default. The wingers are now going to be marking the same position, but both now on mark tight and also cut inside with the ball, and the complete forward finally does drop down to support. We've also gone with a balanced sort of mentality approach to the game. The attack and width goes down to fairly narrow, pass into the space, mixed crosses, focus down the left and the right, the tempo all the way down to slightly lower, the passing on standard, time wasting all the way up, be more disciplined, and if you got mine, play for the set pieces. In transition, we're going to counter press, we're going to leave this blank, slow that pace down, play to the entire back line, and simply roll the ball out. And lastly, out of possession, the standard line, really drop on that line now with the high press, more often prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and also invite crosses when it comes to the cross engagement. And that is going to give you 3 versions of the Conte system. Now let's go over and quickly talk about the actual player roles and what happened. Quickly load that back in, quick pick. So, not quick pick, picked by the best 11. Here we go. So this is the team that is going to be playing. Of course, it is a very, very strong team. Osimhen is not going to be playing. Do not worry. Let's quickly get him out because he did not play for us. Lukaku is going to be the main man. So this team genuinely done really, really well. Now, the likes of, where is he, Lobotka, he sort of played a mixture with Zambo and Gucci. Now, I didn't lock in any players. I kept it pretty much up to the game, just to sort of get an accurate representation of who actually done well in what role. Now, Lukaku returned me 35 and 3. A great season for him. Neres 12 and 15. A great season for him. Politano 9 and 10. A pretty decent season. But also, I will say, Raspadori come on as a bit of a super sub. 11 and 10 goals from him, and I'm not being funny, but how many games did he actually play for us this season? He played quite a fair few games, to be fair to him, so I guess it's a pretty decent return. I'm going to take it, I can tell you that. The back line performed quite well in terms of average rating. Oliveira probably is going to be the best performer out of that back line, although Di Lorenzo is going to get more assists. But this tactic done really, really well. McTominay, 6 and 3. Didn't exactly have an immaculate season compared to real life, but still done his job to a very, very good level. But it is really refreshing to see that we have got a lot of good attack and performances out of our players. Lukaku, 35 goals. I mean, that is incredible. A player that was great is Billing, 2 and 6. Obviously, he's going to be a loanee player. He actually done really, really well for us. So, fair play to him. Spinazzola with 3 assists as well. We had a great time. A real great time with this team. So, if you do like the Conte system, you're a Napoli fan, or you just like FM, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, if you do like this new concept, this isn't going to replace the old videos. This is simply going to be designed for, let's say I have a perfect 3-4-3 that comes out, an Amorim perfect 3-4-3, and then I want to do a more realistic one where we don't use as meta-based roles. I'll do a realistic version for the top managers. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.